tasks around the house that never feel like a priority, but they always stare us down whenever we come across them. I will always think, I'll get to it later, or it doesn't feel like a priority. But in the end, just like with myself, you'll often find that it never ended up taking as long as you thought it would, and you feel so much better about it once it's just done and out of the way. So I thought about 5 of those little pestering tasks around the house that I wanted to do myself, and I decided to finally tackle them. So I made myself a little plan about what are those 5 tasks, and then when will I get them done, so giving myself a short time frame or a deadline in a short amount of time. But for your own house or your own kind of projects, what those tiny little tasks are, put them on a list and then give yourself a deadline, say I'll do them by next week, Monday at the latest, or something like that. So here I am kind of in the progress of also trying to clean up the bookcase, but if I waited for this to be done, it could be months eventually until I even tackled a small section of it. So one quick thing that I wanted to do today, please excuse the clothes here by the way, I'm just trying to let them dry a bit more. Anywho, so I have this 3-tier tray rack that I used to kind of organize scrap paper and then A4 paper, blank papers and line papers, but they're kind of just all over the place, so I want to give them a quick little 2-minute tidy up. And done. That literally only took about a minute or 2 at the most. Now that that's done, anytime new paper comes on it, it'll go in the right section rather than kind of just piling up and making a bigger mess. Now, equally in here, in these 2 cabinets, I kind of just dump things in here, hoping that I'll get to it later. So today is that later. I call this cabinet kind of the random stationary extra item, so things like bigger envelopes or maybe some plastic wrap needed for something, they kind of all go here, but in no particular order, so I kind of just wanted to quickly do that. I'm just going to start by organizing the envelope by size, kind of putting the extra plastic wraps in here and sort of taking it from there. Here I found lots of extra blank A4 paper, which originally I thought were envelopes. So now that's going to go back by that paper section. Some extra line paper, which can also go back there. I'm just kind of matching them by size. Now the envelopes are done. It's time to move on to the next section. Sometimes I keep a few of these because I think they're handy to organize things like miscellaneous papers or wires or something like that, or extra tools that you get from when you need to put together a furniture piece or something like that. So I'm just going to see which ones I kind of don't need anymore. Miscellaneous sizes, smaller ones. We'll go on this one. And then these can be thrown away. One final section at the top. it. This was all just kind of thrown into the back of this cabinet. Trying to perfectly organize it or declutter it. It's just about quickly making some kind of structure to it so that the next time we need something like envelopes or what do you call these things, stamps, then they are easy to access here. I have my next random task that I've been meaning to get to for ages as well. This is a laundry basket. It used to have a laundry bag in it that was attached to these Velcro straps, but now I finally found these 2 laundry baskets that fit in here, and I want to eventually make a little platform here. But for now, the easy thing to do is to take off these Velcro straps. So I have a flathead screwdriver, also some pliers over here. I'm gonna put on a show and just get cracking on with this. First side done, now it's time to move on to the next side. I got the second one off, and now it's time to finally move on to the third and final side. Section off as well. Time to kind of clean it up, and now at least it's ready for the next phase. Now another small quick task that I've been meaning to do is to pour out some of this tahini into a smaller glass jar, because in this larger bottle it's just a bit inconvenient to pour it out. I mean, you think it would be more convenient with the pouring mechanism like this, but you always just kind of leak and then they stick on the outside of the bottle. It's a bit of a fuss, so I think in a smaller jar it'll be easier to work with. Tahini that kind of sticks to the bottom, so new plan. This is not really going according to plan, since this glass is getting quite full. This is becoming a lot more of a mess than I expected it to. Okay, so since this won't be enough space to mix in the hard bits with the liquid bits to kind of blend it all together, I'm going to have to pour it into a bigger bowl after all. Okay, so this is what I'm working with, and I'm going to try to blend it with a fork, and if that doesn't work, then I'll use either a food processor or an electric whisk to help blend it all together. I mean, it's doable with a fork, but I feel it's going to be a lot faster with the electric whisk. So. all blended. Consistency is looking a lot better, so I think I can pour it back into the glass and I don't want this glass jar too full, so I'm gonna pour the rest into another small jar or container or something like that. Okay, that's done. Last thing I want to do is just create some labels for these two jars. Then I can clean up and throw the rest away, and then this task should be finitos. I simply just wrote tahini on the outside. I was trying to find an expiration date, but I couldn't read it anymore. And in this household, I will definitely finish the tahini before the expiration date, so I'm not too worried about that. So now I'm going to clean this up, and then those can go with the other sauces, and then that task is finished. It's cleaned up now, and this again was one of those random tasks that you don't think to do necessarily because it doesn't feel like a priority. And it's not like I'm cooking with tahini every day, so this is just something you're only reminded of once you see it again. And the other day my boyfriend was trying to make a tahini sauce using that big tahini bottle, but mentioned that it was a little bit inconvenient to try to pour out the tahini, so hopefully this will make it a lot easier for us. Now, since I'm starting in the kitchen anyways, I may as well work on the next task, which is I've been meaning to put these new pots and pans in the area where we store the pots and pans, but there's no space for them, so I've just been kind of leaving them on the dining table over there. So now I want to see if I can come up with a new sort of organizational system. Maybe there are some pots and pans in here that we don't need anymore, so I can do a quick declutter at the same time. So that's why I haven't put them away right away. But before I consider how I'm going to put them away, I first want to give them a quick clean. Now that I've cleaned and dried all the pots and pans, I'm going to see if I can get them to fit in the drawers where we store those items. But a little tip before you get started on things like this is to take a picture of what it looked like before, so that if it doesn't work out, well, then at least you can refer back to the picture to remember what it was like before. I found this tool, which is a pan divider, which I got from IKEA. I want to see if I can maybe use this to help store them, because they're quite large pans, so they won't fit like this. So the only way it'll fit is over here. So first up, let me just grab everything out. Now would be a good time to give this area a quick clean as well.
Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight.
I actually didn't even consider if it would fit this way.
Love the world.
I'm basically just trying to open it as far as it can go. Idea, but this is not gonna work because some of the pans don't fit in here. The pan divider can only fit in this position, so I can only place the pans here, and now the handles are blocking me from being able to take out other pan, so this wouldn't be the most convenient way of storing these, so I'm going to have to come up with another system. Okay, let's see about attempt number 2. I'll put the smaller saucepan over the other one. Then I'll put the largest wok pan here. I don't have enough of those pan dividers, so I'm just going to put the tissue paper in the older pans to help protect them. Now I'm going to put some stuff back in there.
On top of the world. Dangerous.
Yeah, storing the wok pan with the saucepans together.
Be sure to keep the ground in sight.
And then lastly,
Keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. Get on board. We're soaring on top of the world.
everything here should be easy to grab and a lot more convenient to use. Alright, and so now I'll see what I can do with this pan. But the others are in here and this task is also done now. And so now I've done 5 of those tasks that don't feel necessarily important enough to make it a priority, but it is something that you want to get done as soon as possible because you keep noticing it every time you pass by it or something like that, or every time you access that area. I do quite find that when you complete some of these random tasks, it helps to become more organized in the long haul. So for example, after the first task, after I'd organized that tray rack with different types of papers in there, that made it easier for me to put away the newly found papers that I found in task 2 when I was organizing the cabinet and to directly put it away in the right spot. Whereas before, I probably would have just shoved it somewhere in that bookcase, not really thinking about where it should go, or I would have just said, oh, I'll deal with it later. Same principle goes for the third task after I took the Velcro straps off of the laundry basket. Now, I'm not sure yet if I'll try to do the next stage of either sanding and restaining or making that platform for the laundry basket, if I'll do that in a week or 5 weeks or maybe even 6 months from now, but at least there's one thing done for that task and it kind of motivates me to make this overarching task of completing a laundry basket done sooner rather than later. I wanted to showcase some examples of what could be those, let's call it pestering tasks that you want to get done but they don't feel like a priority, so they always get put in the wayside. And so by showcasing these examples, I hope I've given you some inspiration to think about what those own tasks might be for your own situation. So bottom line is, I just want to inspire you to also think about doing these tasks or think about what little steps you can do to make bigger tasks in the long run a bit easier on yourself, whether it seems important or not at the time. And whether you do it today or tomorrow or 2 weeks from now, doesn't really matter, but if you can spare 2 minutes or 10 minutes in a day, then just consider doing those kind of tasks as well. And so finally, I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.